Merab Dvalishvili offered Umar Nurmagomedov main event, prefers Sandhagen. We also, there's MMA news, and we also have, Ilia Topuria offered Josh Emmett and Brian Ortega, and I'll react to that as well. And MMA news in general, we start with, I think, more importantly, Merab Dvalishvili offered Umar Nurmagomedov. I saw these news, and I was like, I'm going to make a video on it. Prefers Sandhagen sandwich, he says. I don't know what the UFC's doing here. I'm going to look at them, talk to them for a second, alright? The UFC, I think they secretly hate Merab. They secretly hate him. I think that Sandhagen called out Merab. Everyone thought that was the next fight to make. And they came out and said, Umar, actually. Screw Sandhagen. Fuck him. So, very interesting that they would offer Merab Umar when Sandhagen called him out. And Merab even agreed, like, let's get this on. Let's go. And they're like, directly next to each other in the rankings. Well, O'Malley's number 2, Sandhagen's 3, Merab's number 1. Why would you give Merab Umar, who's currently, I want to say, Merab's number 1 in the rankings, and Umar is number 11. You would give number 11 number 1. That's an exception. Only when the whole division's booked. Alright? It was an exception when O'Malley fought Yan. When he faced Piotr Yan. That was an exception because everyone else is booked. It was Cruz Vera at the time. Sandhagen was fighting Yadong. It was an exception, but no. O'Malley facing the winner of Sterling Cejudo. Sandhagen called out Merab. It makes so much sense to make that fight happen. Just doesn't understand. I don't understand that. And Jan's gonna face Vera. But Jan's probably gonna face Vera next. But they're both not booked. Font's fighting Yanez. Cruz isn't booked. Yadong's fighting Yadong's fighting Simone. I don't get that. Munoz fighting Gutierrez. So you offer number 11, number 1 Merab. That's only acceptable if everyone else is booked. But not everyone's booked, so fuck off, UFC, with that. But it's funny, though, because I think they secretly want Merab to lose. I don't think they like the idea that Merab's not going to fight Aljo. When he clearly can. He clearly can fight Aljo right now. But he decides, he arguably deserves the title shot over O'Malley. But he decides not to do it. And the UFC just says, okay, let's just give O'Malley the winner. Yeah. That's about it. Early prediction for that fight, if that ever happens, that hypothetical matchup. I would probably take... Yeah, you know what? I think Umar would win. I think Umar could win that one, to be honest with you guys. I really do believe Umar could win that one. Because Merab ain't going to out-grapple him. He's not going to. In a 3-round fight, Merab versus Merab versus Umar. 5 rounds could be interesting, but 3-rounder, if ever happens. I know they said main event, offered main event spot, so I'll just say both. 3-rounder, I think Merab would lose. Umar would stuff the takedowns. Umar has power on the feet. Maybe he has to worry about the takedowns, but he's Dagestani, come on. You don't really see Umar getting out-grappled. Umar wins, and he'll throw, unlike Piotr Yan. And Umar trains with, Khabib, Islam. He trains with great guys. So, yeah, Umar, I think, would win. 3-rounder. 5-rounder, he could slow down. Merab could eventually get to him, but I think Umar would win a 3-rounder. 5-rounder, Merab wins probably, though. Let's be real. But Merab has no striking, and Merab's chinny. He got dropped by Moraes and nearly finished. So, I think Umar would win that one. But yeah, don't make that next. Make Merab versus Sanhagen the people's matchup. People want to see that. Let's do that instead. We move on to another situation, which is Ilia Topuria offered, according to Ilia Topuria's coach, Jorge Clement. Ilia has 2 offers from the UFC for fights at UFC 290 International Fight Weekend, July 8th. Brian Ortega or Josh Emmett. Which is interesting. Which is very interesting. I think it'll be Brian Ortega, though. It might be Emmett, but one of these guys have to face Mavzar, I think. To be honest with you. One of these guys, it might be Kate or Mavzar, Evloev instead, but I think this is both interesting matchups equally. I like the Topuria versus... I think Topuria versus Ortega is more interesting, though. Because Topuria, if he wins that, he's 1 fight away from a title shot. With Emmett, it's like he could be 2 fights away. So, I think Topuria Ortega is more interesting. I think it's more competitive. Yeah, I think Topuria would kind of smoke Emmett, because Emmett's old, and he's not that good skill-wise, and he has a right hand. That's all he has, basically. You know? But he wins robbery decisions based on it. But yeah. 290, UFC 290 is absolutely stacked. So that's just going to add another fight to that card. And Dominic Cruz versus Cody Garbrandt. By the way, I think Topuria beats both of them if they do fight. But Ilia Topuria versus... No, I just spoke about Ilia Topuria. Cody Garbrandt, Dominic Cruz 2 is in the works. This rematch. I guess Cruz... I don't know what Figueiredo is going to do when he comes back, because these were kind of the 2 options for Figueiredo, but now that's both gone. Maybe he fights the winner at the end of the year. Who knows? Cruz Garbrandt's interesting. I think if this was before the Trevin Jones fight, I might have said Garbrandt. But seeing that he didn't throw much punches against Trevin Jones, I'm going to lean Dominic Cruz. Because Garbrandt probably, his new style is more so kick-based. Like, he's kicking people, he's moving around the outside, kind of out-skilling his opponents, kind of just out-poking them, and just taking them to a boring decision. You can't play that game against Cruz, I don't think. I think he needs to land punches against Cruz and drop Cruz. That's how he won the first fight. Cruz was out-striking him, but Garbrandt got the knockdowns to win it. I think Cruz would win. 3-rounder is competitive. It benefits Garbrandt, I think, there, but I don't know. I think Garbrandt would lose. Depends. It's an even close fight. I think Garbrandt would lose that one, though. He didn't look great against Trevin Jones. And Garbrandt got taken down round 3 against Trevin Jones. So Cruz, if it's any problem from the feet, mixing some grappling. He out-grappled Casey Kenny, who's decent. So, yeah. And other news as well, Michael Chiesa, Li Jingliang pulled out of the fight versus Michael Chiesa next week. Unfortunate for, it's really unfortunate for, Li Jingliang. He had spinal injury. Really bad for him. Chiesa, okay, this is what I think. Chiesa declined the Kevin Lee rematch, I think, and he declined Nico Price. I put his name out there. I don't know what they're going to do. I think they'll find him a replacement. I think you have to find Chiesa some sort of replacement. I think the UFC will do that. They shouldn't, though. I think they should put this on April 29th, because that Saruki and Moicano card is absolute shit. So I wouldn't mind like a Michael Chiesa versus, like, if Ian Gary, like, who cares about Daniel Rodriguez? Fuck him. He's unranked. Take this opportunity and fight Chiesa. I think Gary would beat Chiesa, if I'm honest with you. Chiesa doesn't have any stand-up, and Gary can stop the takedowns, so screw the Rodriguez fight. Screw that fight. I would, what's it called? I would take on Chiesa. Or Mikel Pereira. Where's he? Where's Mikel Pereira? And Gary also wanted to fight on the Miami card. So, yeah, not much fights. Sucks for Li Jingliang. We'll see what they do with that. Another MMA news as well. Alex Morono versus Tim Means. May 13th. I'll probably go for Morono. I think Morono's pretty good and underrated, to be honest with you. I think he's very, very good. He got caught against Ponzinibbio, but overall, he was winning that fight. Just made one mistake. And Olberg versus Topuria. Interesting matchup. I don't get why they would make that, but whatever. Yeah, I think Olberg would win that one. I think he would get done there. Topuria is not that good. Don't get why they... Like, I was thinking Olberg versus Paul Craig. One of those fights. I was thinking Olberg would get a jump up after beating his last opponent, but guess not. Yeah, I think he'll beat Topuria. And, Ignacio Bahamondes versus Trey Ogden. Both of their opponents fell out. I like when that happens. I like when, like it's not like a short-nosed backup from one guy. Like, Ogden's opponents fell out. Ogden's opponent was, I forgot who his opponent was. Manuel Torres last week, and Bahamondes was supposed to fight Mata. So put them together. I think Bahamondes wins. Ogden's underrated, but I think you need some power in your hands to, like, beat Bahamondes. But yeah. I think Bahamondes will outskill him there. Like, subscribe. Thank you for watching.